Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores.
Liar!
No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Excuse me. Hi, yes, I know I cut off the intro because I was doing two things at once and I clicked on it too soon before we got the full whole image there. But hi, everybody. Welcome to the round table where I have a slight tickle in my throat because I went out to take out the garbage and the cold air made my throat dry and I can't seem to quite get it to go away. I apologize for the coughing. But welcome one and all. We're happy to have you here on this Sunday afternoon, this busy Sunday afternoon where I'm sure it's cold out there for a lot of you. It's cold out here. Oh, how we all doing? We got a good show for you. Before that, let's say hi to everybody. Jed, it's like I never see you.
I know, I missed you. I missed you a lot. I don't know how we can bear to go 12 hours without speaking.
I know. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We have a lot of great news to talk about today that I'm excited to jump into with Doctor Who, and Disney Star Wars as usual, and just some interesting things that I'm excited to jump into.
I gotta admit, I was struggling to put the show together this week because most of the week was light, but then right here at the very end, we got just a rush of stuff that I'm able to throw out there, we're able to talk about and put some thought into, and hopefully give you guys an entertaining show. And here's a man who's always entertaining, Trey. You always bring the juice. How you doing? You're not sure how to handle that one, do you? I riffed on that one. It was a complete riff. I don't know where I was going, what I was doing, dude. All right, how you doing? You okay?
I'm doing great, man. I've had a heck of a week myself. Full week of comic fulfillment. So
yes, people are getting your book already.
Yeah,
seeing that.
Some stuff has been delivered early, so I'm a very, very happy panda about that. So that's good. That's good. So this has been a very good week. I can't complain. Won't complain.
Now, Dre, I have to ask you this. You are a gamer. You like Pokemon.
I do.
Have you tried Pal World yet?
What is that? Like you're the second person to say it.
Okay, all right. It's essentially Pokemon type thing, but with guns. Although we haven't gotten the guns yet. You get to equip them. It's running around doing stuff. Listen, last night, the other day, Dermy's been going on about this for weeks. Okay, it's gonna be Pokemon with guns, it'd be great, but he didn't really sell it that well. I had to watch somebody else play it. I had to look into it myself. And then I said, shit, for $26 while it's on sale, while it's at this for the next few days, that's worth it. And last night, Dermy hosted a game because my old ass computer couldn't do it. And our good friend Static 2020 is still getting a laptop, which is going to create to be a dedicated server for us. So we can have 32 people in the world at a time. We played it. Myself, Dermy, Shaka Zulu, Devil was there, but he couldn't join us. His poor son of a bitch was on Game Pass and not on Steam, so they didn't have the crossplay. And we played it for 5 hours.
Good Lord.
And we did crazy. It's actually fun. You go out, you capture, you craft, you build, you survive. We did a small dungeon. It's actually pretty good, and I think it's right up your alley, dude. But I just told this story to Jed and Dragonlee, so I told it to you too. But horrible shit can happen in that game. What happened was we were feeling pretty confident. We were about level 10 and 11 last night. Some of our pals that we'd had for a while were of equal level, and I'm feeling pretty confident. And right outside our camp, there was level 34 kind of mastodon elephant type creature roaming around out there. It's a world boss. There's several of them. They count as a boss. And here I am thinking, I'm feeling pretty confident. I got 2 pals out at once because of my item. The other guys have strong ones. Let's go fight this thing. No. We started the fight right away. Remember, we're at level 10. It's level 34. We start doing damage. Ones are showing up as the damage. Just one, and we're not scratching anything. And then it turns on us. Whoosh. Devastation begins. Both Shocks and Dermy's pals get wiped out. I had been hanging back doing a range attack, and then I ran like a bitch. And because they died, or I had the aggro. It followed me back to camp, and it destroyed every single worker pal we had. Because when you get in, your camps can get invaded by NPCs, and the pals tried to fight back, Dre. And they all died, especially a couple of the special ones Dermy had captured or hatched for himself. And everything was died. And Dermy and Shock both died. But I was okay because I went and hid in the house. And I shot it through the window. And I stayed in there and I unsummoned my pals. I'm like, yeah. And then when it was all over, they're going, Adam, you destroyed everything. You ruined it. I said, I regret nothing. You all signed off on this. You're in charge. How am I in charge? It's your server. Doesn't matter. Decisions. What? I said, let's do it. You signed off on it, and it was a lot of fun. And I think
That's like fun.
It since you're into that kind of monster catching, raising, summoning, crafting, I think you have a lot of fun. So, and you should check it out.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm looking at tonight.
Room for you.
Sounds like fun.
Attic sets it up tomorrow, and because it's going to be running 24/7, we can all jump in and out whenever we feel like it. Be very cool. So that was that. Dragon Lady, have you done anything to destroy your video game land?
Well, I didn't watch Morbius the other day. It wasn't too bad, but I don't think I'd be in a mad rush to watch it again.
You don't want that more time? You don't want that more time? No.
That wasn't even in the film, that.
No.
That was in the trailer. I was a bit disappointed. I was going to sit there and laugh at it. But I wasn't keen on the CGI. The CGI was horrible in that.
But did you like Matt Smith?
Oh,
I heard Matt Smith was fun in that.
He was good in that. Not as good as his House of the Dragon role, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
You like his dancing scene? That scene is so weird.
That was cringy. I'm sorry. No,
it was.
Well, all right. I'm glad you found it a moment. We'll just call it that. It was a moment.
Yeah.
And anyway, but we got a good show for you guys. I've cobbled something together for us to talk about. We got Doctor Who news at the last second on Thursday, Friday. There was Doctor Who news. Jed has it for us. Then there was Disney Star Wars news this week, but it's kind of evolved further. At first, we just had the whole, is the Rey movie canceled? Is it not canceled? That hullabaloo. But it really has transformed into something we've been talking about a lot lately. This fake narrative that Star Wars is for everyone. Women like Star Wars too. That whole retarded narrative that the stands all keep pushing that I've gotten blocked over because I've told them you're full of shit. And then we're going to talk cancel pigs. In general discussion, but we're starting off the fact that the cancel pigs are once again angry at J.K. Rowling because Hogwarts Legacy won 2023. But we'll get into that. Before we do, though, hail and howdy to the chat. Those of you watching, hanging out, happy to have you here. Hail, Ruben X, how you doing? Hail, Kenzo, the man who ruins my Dr. Crusher fantasies on a weekly basis by putting Dermy's face on Gates McFadden. It's wrong. It's wrong. And Swifty, you will pay. You will pay, Swifty. But hail, Kenzo. We love you, Kenzo. Hail to Andy Pickle. What did I learn? I learned that I regret nothing. I regret nothing. And I'd do it again. Because maybe if we had a better strategy and more people, we could win. Instead of just three of us, anyway. All right, so hail, if you're just watching and not chatting with us, welcome to the show. We hope you enjoy the rest of it. All right, so let's dive right in. Doctor Who. Millie Gibson. We've talked about Millie Gibson on Jed's channel. We've talked about it here. Mm-hmm. She is the current Doctor Who companion, an attractive young woman, got a nice body, nice face, can't act worth shit, but at least she's hot. And at least it kind of for a moment dispelled, they're not afraid to put a hot white girl on something. Well, Jed, that's over, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's entirely over. Now, a lot of speculation came from a lot of Millie Gibson's interviews in the last few weeks. She's had a lot of terrible ones, like they're focusing on the Gen Z audience. It's going to be very controversial and stuff like that. But a few weeks ago, she said that in 2025, she's going to be looking for new auditions, new roles, stuff like that. And a lot of people took that to mean Is she fired? Is the show canceled? What is going on here? I definitely didn't take it in that
We were
extreme
hesitant
direction.
to jump on that. We're like, yeah, you know what? Let's wait
Yeah,
for something to really
especially
happen.
because they're filming the season for 2025 right now.
We knew season 2 was happening. Yeah.
So if the season was coming out in 2025, that means she'd have time in 2025 to film. So that made sense to me. But we have some reports from the Mirror that claim that she will not indeed be the main companion for season 2. She is in fact getting replaced this soon. And the biggest problem with this isn't the fact that she's not coming back for season 2. We've had several one season companions,
One and
and
done.
she will be appearing in the second season though. So the best comparison seems to be Martha Jones, because Martha Jones was one season companion but showed up in a couple episodes of the subsequent season. Seems to be what they're doing with her as well. The question is this a planned plot point, or is it firing of a diva? Because there's been a lot of reports that she's been difficult on the sets. She's hard to work with. She's a major diva. There's some stuff like that going on. Or it could just be the fact that they wanted additional diversity. There's so many things that you can speculate with this replacement of her character. I think the biggest problem with all this, though, is the fact that we know about it this soon. We've only gotten a single episode of Millie Gibson, with another 8 reportedly coming out starting in May that feature her. So we kind of know where her story is going to end. She's not going to die, but she's not going to be the companion. She's probably going to end up on Earth and being fine, with her boyfriend played by, it looks like, the actor who played Prince Eric in the live-action Little Mermaid film from earlier this year.
that limp-wristed twink?
Yep, and he's the one who's been rumored to have, a crush on Ncuti Gatwa. They're going for a love triangle similar to
please,
Twilight and
please
Bella,
do
with
Do
Ncuti
it.
Gatwa being Bella, with Millie Gibson's character and her boyfriend's character, in love with him simultaneously. So that's going to be...
I was saying,
I
don't
want that.
insult Twilight like that. Come on.
Dude, I will insult Twilight all day. It's Twilight.
I will insult that all day.
I'm not offended. It's like, hang on a minute.
But
There are some issues.
They did it better.
There are some issues with this report, though. The Mirror is the only one that was initially reporting it, and now all the other big news sites are picking it up because of the Mirror. They're saying the Mirror reported this, but we've gotten no confirmation of this from the BBC or any of the actors or people involved. It is just the Mirror said their insider told them this, so there is some ambiguity to this report. There is a major grain of salt that should be taken with this news, and even the quotes that they supposedly have from Russell T Davies, they are putting them in quotation marks, and other sites are using them as actual Russell T Davies quotes about the situation. But this article says our insider said that Russell said this. So I have issues with this reporting. I don't know if it's real. But Dre, are you prepared to see what the new...
We do have an actress that's replacing.
We do have a reported actress who will be replacing Millie Gibson.
Okay.
And are you ready for this, Dre?
I'm ready.
So we're going from a hot white chick that was the main saving grace for a lot of people.
And to preference, she was in Andor.
This actress, the replacement actress, was in Andor. So Disney totally not getting involved in Doctor Who, pushing their own actors into the show. All right, Trey, here you go. This is the new Doctor Who companion, one of the oldest we've ever gotten. She's 31, I believe. Here we go. She has a distinctive look. That's important. Distinctive look. Now, this might just be a bad photo, okay? Sure, probably just a bad photo. Let's go on to another one.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Maybe not a bad photo.
Yeah. Now, I've been told by people in our circle that there are better angles that she looks hotter in, and all I say is I saw her in Andor where she played a dirty lesbian. And when I say dirty lesbian, I mean because she was like physically dirty. Not that lesbians are dirty. She was filthy. They were living in the wilderness, and she smelled. And she was a dirty lesbian in that one who needed to shower. And
this is her name. I can't pronounce it, but
Varada Sethu.
There's not really any good ones that aren't major like photo shoots that are touched up. Like these are photo shoots.
I have questions.
And Millie Gibson takes a lot of selfies of herself where her boobs are out.
Yes, she does.
Oh, that's something. Okay. So why the switch? Do we know why?
No.
More diversity.
Probably more diversity.
More diversity.
Because she's Indian? Or
yes.
Middle Eastern? Or...
Yeah, she's Indian.
I was going to say she's Pakistani.
Okay.
Yeah, she's British Indian. And that's what it's said here. Indian-born British actress right here.
Okay.
That's all I know from is that description right there. But of course, the few people on Twitter who are actually genuinely liking this show, their response has been stuff like this. Oh my
Really?
god, it's the first non-white TARDIS. There's not a single white person on the TARDIS. Been praying for this.
God.
And then, there's this one as well. There's several of these tweets from these diehard stands of the current era who are just celebrating the fact that she's not white, and that's all they care about.
Wait,
not a
hold
single.
on. Wait a second. Wait. Are they celebrating that nice white lady lost her job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's mean.
No, well, the new one's diverse, Dre, so it's okay.
Nah, man.
White people are supposed to be put in their place and replaced.
Like the equivalent would be, Jed, somehow your channel gets owned by somebody. They fire you and then put me in there. That's kind of messed up. That's messed up.
And I can say, because I've actually seen this chick act, she's not an upgrade acting wise from Millie Gibson. No,
Really?
No whatsoever. She
I
is flat.
never saw Andor, so I have no idea.
She doesn't. She delivers nothing. She brings nothing to the table in terms of.
So
acting
pretty much
quality.
every Doctor Who actor they're casting, besides
Yes.
the big celebrity draws.
Yeah. So here's the thing. To go back to what you said before, we get one season of Millie Gibson. We now know before it even starts that she's one and done. And go back in time, as you said, we didn't know that about Martha Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that she was one and done. When you're watching a story, at least for me, if we're getting introduced to a new character, if I want to keep watching, I want to know where their story is going to lead. Now we've been told her story is going to be done in one season. Where's the interest? Where's the compelling draw to see what happens? She's either going to walk away or die. There, and because you told us
she's in
that
season
she's going to
2.
come back, yeah. So she's just going to walk away for whatever reason.
Probably.
Why? Then
I want it to be because of her race. Like, there's a racist Rosa Parks episode, and Shooty Got was like, I cannot in good conscience travel with a white person anymore. I want that speech.
and also I want your boyfriend.
But
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no compelling reason to follow the story of Ruby Sunday now. Because we know it's going to get concluded right away, and we know that fact that she's coming back, whatever peril she may be put in, it's going to be resolved instantaneously.
Well, yeah, companions have died in the past, a lot, in fact. So there was still risk involved with being a companion. It wasn't like I don't know, another type of show, a Disney show, where you're just like, oh yeah, everyone's going to survive. These stakes don't matter. It's not that type of show. Risks do matter, but now it's just like
Perfect example.
Should be fine.
Rory, Matt Smith, first run. When he died, we didn't know he was going to come back as Robin Robot Rory. We didn't know that. So when Rory dies, like, damn, Rory just got killed.
Well, and when they do kill companions, it sets up something amazing. As much as Peter Capaldi's final season, season 10, is rough. There are a lot of issues, especially with the character of Bill. I love what happened to her.
Wait. Did you know Bill was gay?
I did. They really wanted to make sure we knew. I do have to say, the one time that they wanted to make sure we knew she was gay that I laughed at was when she was on a date with this girl in her flat, and the Pope walked out of her bedroom and started yelling at them for being gay. I laughed. Okay, I laughed. But at the end of her season, when she died, she came back as a Cyberman. And I love that story arc with her because she's dealing with it. She has no time to tell you that she's a lesbian. She's just like, I'm a cyborg right now. What does that mean for my psychology? How am I going to move forward with this? And they made something really cool out of a companion's death. So now that possibility's off the table entirely is disappointing.
So I don't care. I didn't care anyway. I only care for my channel because Dermy and I are going to dual review this for everybody. But this is not surprising. And I've seen a couple of tweets out there where they go, oh my God, this shows that Russell T Davies, he's not going to stop. He's going to keep pushing the envelope. He's rolling. Let him cook. I hate that phrase. Let him cook. I really have grown to hate. It's one of those phrases that have been co-opted and I hate.
Oh yeah.
All it means is we're talking about somebody that has zero creativity, and it's a stand phrase that's running cover for the fact that the ideas that are going to come out of here now are either purely agenda driven or stale and unoriginal.
Well,
And
we've
I
seen
think both
these.
apply to Russell T Davies at this point.
Oh, absolutely. And I've seen that phrase most commonly associated with the future of Rings of Power. People who said a show is never good until at least its third or fourth season. Yes, I heard that. Is you can't blame a first season for being bad because all shows are bad till their third or fourth season. They're saying let Amazon
Daredevil.
cook. Daredevil. That's a great example. Only got
Come
3
on.
seasons and it's just beautiful.
It's beautiful,
and-
all three. So I don't
Mhm.
want to hear that crap. That notion of it has to give it 4 years before it gets good. What kind of nonsense is that?
Well, it's not 4 years, it's 8 now with how much time is in between seasons these
And
That's
days.
even
here's
worse.
the thing. Go ahead, Dre. Finish thought.
No, but
Okay.
that's the thing. Like to say that, hey, you have to devote at least 3 seasons for me to actually get something good out of your product. That's crazy talk. That's nonsense. I used to have a rule back in the day. I used to have a rule for when television used to be syndicated, when you were going to get 20 episodes a season. I say you get 4 episodes to hook me.
The 4 to
Four
6, the 4 average. Yeah, it was always
Yeah.
like 4 to 6.
You get 4 to hook me. That's a month. Because based on syndicated television, that's a month. You have a month to get me hooked. If you don't hook me in a month, I'm out. That was my rule.
Yeah,
mean-
I do that as well. When I'm watching something 3-4 episodes, if it's good, I'll carry on watching it. If not, I have no interest.
Well, that's an important rule because with Arcane, that ended up being one of my favorite shows of the last decade, really. It took me a second watch through to get through those first few episodes, like you're saying, to get me hooked. And now I love those first few episodes now, but it took a little while. So yeah, I think that's a very fair amount. It's
And
about 4.
one of the most famously used examples of you got to wait till it gets better is people try to say, look at Deep Space Nine. But the thing is, though, the example of that is, though, within those first 2 seasons, while season 3 is when it really kicks into high gear,
Mhm.
there are great moments and great episodes in seasons 1 and 2 that
Great
are usually
characters.
character defining episodes. Therefore, you can't say, and I said this when I was an immature critic and viewer, much younger.
Mhm.
Oh, DS9 doesn't get good to really season 3. Yeah, I watch it half a dozen times all the way through later. No, it's good in seasons 1 and 2. You
Mhm.
just have to know what you're watching, and you have to be ready to appreciate the character development episodes that are early on, as Ira Stephen Bear was setting everything up
Mhm.
for what was going to happen with the Dominion War. And you have to understand that. But you guys are correct. You cannot use the let's wait until season 3 when it gets good. No, you haven't earned that. Nobody earns that,
Mhm.
especially in today. And that's one of the things I always like to come back to. You can't just ask us to give it time. You can't just ask us to wait and see anymore. We have had so many disappointments, so many abominations out there that we have just witnessed destroy things we love. There's no reason for us to give anything a chance until we watch it. I'm not, let me rephrase that. We have no reason to believe that you're going to give us something good. And if we watch a trailer and it looks like garbage, if we watch a clip and it looks like garbage, and then we see the first episode and it is garbage, then I'm sorry. We are within our rights as customers and fans to say this is garbage. And if you're a reviewer like myself, I have every right to make a video and say why it's garbage, point by point, scene by scene. And if you don't like it, well, that's a you problem. And if you come into my comment section or anybody else's comment section and vomit your diarrhea, rehashed SJW agenda bullshit to try and defend why I'm a bigot, because that's all you can do is call me a istinophobe and a bigot, then I'm sorry. Again, that's a you problem. You just can't handle that I don't like something you do. And that, as it turns out, usually the majority of people do not like something you do. Excuses. We don't play that around here. And real fans are tired of it. We just want good entertainment. And if we're seeing a character here that is also, let's be honest, Ruby Sunday is not an interesting character by any means.
Oh God,
so far.
no.
I mean, she doesn't move. She doesn't move the story at all. She has zero presence, zero agency. To
Her
even
story
feel
doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. We're not interested in her anyway, but you're going to tell us that her story's already done before we've actually seen it begin to play out? If she's going to survive, then that's it. Why are we doing this?
I do want to use an example of way you can do that right. There is a Doctor Who character who we knew her ending from the first episode she was introduced.
I know.
River Song.
River Song, yeah.
That is an example of how to do it correctly, but that was planned. That was part of the writing, is we want you to know how she ends at the beginning. This was an accident or a leak or something like that. So there is a difference here, but it is possible to do it right. This is definitely the wrong way to find out.
When it came with River Song, you had an actual quality actress.
Of course.
With Alex Kingston.
And it was tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah, River Song's story is phenomenal. Dre, since you probably don't know, there was a character introduced in Doctor Who. In the first episode we met her, she talked about how she'd known the Doctor for decades. A close personal relationship, even knew his name. No one knows that. It might even be marriage type relationship. Like, this lady knows the Doctor, but the Doctor has no idea who she is. And at the end of the episode, or the two-parter, she dies tragically, saving his life. And so we know going forward that he's going to meet her and develop this relationship with her. But at the back of his mind the whole time, he's going to know where she's going to end up. And it adds this level of tragic irony to their entire relationship. Like, every time she turns her back when they eventually meet, as they should later on, his eyes just sink and he's just like depressed. He's like, I love being with this woman. Woman is incredible. And I know her family and I want to be near her. But whenever she turns her back, he can't help but express his guilt and his grief at losing her. It's so well done.
And we get a beautiful bittersweet episode, The Husband's River Song.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you get that they get
Full
their
circle.
moment of a happy ending. It's a moment of a happy ending before the end, because it's good though. It's good, it's great, and you're absolutely right, Jed. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then back then, Stephen Moffat was quality.
He was
quality. Doctor Who, R.I.P. Doctor Who.
That's all you can say.
We will. We'll celebrate you while you were still good, and we'll rip you apart while you're shit. Just to piss off these new Who stands. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Just to piss them off. Anyway, all right. So that was our warm up, and that was good. That was good because we're riled up. Because now we get to talk Disney Star Wars. Oh, Adam, again with Disney Star Wars. Of course. And hail and howdy to everybody that's come in while we were going through the first segment. I saw you, tried to bring you up on the screen best I could. But I hope you guys are enjoying. Hit that like button if you're having a good time. Subscribe to everybody in the links below. And let's get on with the show. All right, so Disney Star Wars. We know around here how we feel about Disney Star Wars. It is...
I'm not sure. What are your thoughts?
It's complete trash.
Okay.
It is dog shit. There is nothing good in it. Some people like to try and a la carte it, but I do not believe in that. There is real Star Wars and there is Disney Star Wars. You pick one, you cannot have them both. There is no way you can slot. There's only one moment you can sort of slot in of Disney Star Wars, and technically it's still real Star Wars because it was made before the purchase. And we're talking about those final episodes of Clone Wars Season 7. Those were written before Disney took over, while George was still involved.
Well, the beginning and the end ones will count.
Yeah,
we don't count the middle arc.
We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that. Everything after that, though, garbage, fake. Sequel trilogy, fake. Andor, fake. Mandoverse, Filoniverse, fake. Bad Batch, fake. All of it, fake. High Republic, fake. But we're told that we don't like any of this because we're misogynists. We just don't like this stuff because we're women. And the only reason we're unhappy about the Rey movie coming out, because, guys, did you hear the Rey movie was canceled and uncanceled? Did you hear that?
Dre, you heard that too, right?
I did hear it.
Wait,
I did hear it.
What did I do?
You said because we're women.
We hate it because we're women.
Okay. I said it. All right. Yeah, I see. Now Ariel just arrived, and she's going to make sure that I remember that.
Yes, we didn't want it to come out like this, but Adam is in fact trans. He's coming out of the closet. Him and Dermy are in a relationship. It's time.
It's still there. It's still there.
I didn't say that.
Well, you can still
It's so
have it, but still identify as a woman.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Well, let's try and salvage this, shall we? Yeah, that's gonna get clipped by me. Anyway, Disney Star Wars is a disaster. And what happens is this: they put out their trial balloons, or they lose codes, because the rumor is right now going around that Charmin Obaid Chinoy, that whole thing with CNN was done without Disney's approval. It was done with her own PR handlers. And it doesn't matter, because that's still what Disney aligns with. She may have said it and everybody's kind of unhappy she went out and said it because they didn't have control of it, but it does just the fact that Disney's okay with her making men uncomfortable. They're okay with her pushing her feminist agenda into Star Wars, because that's what Rey is. Rey Palpatine is the feminist agenda.
100%.
Let's make all the men look silly and stupid. So that, to the point where every time we say stuff about this, they begin their false narratives. We talked about this last week, and we're going to talk about it again here today, just to get us warmed up, to remind you where we come from, because sometimes somebody's not... wrong button. God damn, I'm a disaster today. Because sometimes not everybody's here for the whole conversation.
Are you here for the whole conversation?
Maybe. I might still be playing Pal World for all I know. I don't know. You got guys like this. This is one of my new ones that I'm trying to get blocked by. I got blocked by a good one today. Overnight. I earned that one. I was poking him in the forehead with my finger hard. Yeah, I knew you guys were
really starting to run away there.
I know. Listen, I'm trying to lean into it best I can. And I'm trying to make it as fun as I can, because I can't run away from that. I did it. I said it, and I'm going to own it. And see, look at that. See, here's a problem. Now that Ariel hangs out in these chats for this show, and she's across multiple shows, multiple streams. Listen, this is going to follow me to Star Trek Engage today. This is going to follow me there, and I'm going to get shit over that. That's what's going to happen, because she was here and she'll be there, and I'm going to get destroyed by the others. But don't worry, I will have my revenge on that. I've already set up my revenge, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, it starts with this. We say Rey Palpatine. They say, it's Rey Skywalker. Rey is canon. They even try to, and this is what got me blocked. Jed, you said you had it?
I do. Can we pull it up?
It's one of the two. Yeah, pull it up. This is one of the ones that got me blocked by this twink of a Stan today. He said this. Is that the one? Yeah. Zoom in a little bit so I can read it, since I don't have it anymore. This is the Emperor Jared. He's one of the EU guys that I've seen recently that is pushing back with this stuff. You guys just don't understand adoption, because that's the message going out right now, that Force Ghosts Luke and Leia, or let me say Jake and Lana, because that's not Leia and that's not Luke. They adopted Rey as a Skywalker by appearing to her on Tatooine at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Does that mean they're a Force Ghost couple, and now that they don't have DNA, they can finish what they started in Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, don't do that.
You got to say that part out loud.
Don't play their game.
God,
don't feed that lie.
You red-bearded bastard.
I'd say they don't have DNA, so is it incest?
I'm gonna take you up back and beat you like the redheaded stepchild you are. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Now, but you see that within the 48 hours, this is the new Hive Mind download that all the stands are pushing. She was adopted, and then this guy says this. So, out of curiosity, I looked at the novelization, and Luke nods and says the Skywalker name is hers. Case closed with lore. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but the stands once again shoot themselves in the foot, because according to them, books aren't canon. Jed, how many times have we heard the books aren't canon when they talk about this shit? When we bring this up,
all the time. It pretty much suits whatever their argument is at the moment. Exactly. If it supports their argument, books are canon. If it's not, they're not canon. When it comes to novelizations, though, I have heard arguments even previous to Disney Star Wars that novelizations are tenuous when it comes to canon, because there are times that they contradict the movies and contradict what came later. So even if this were an EU versus main Star Wars argument, the novelization shouldn't have been the justification.
Yeah, movies always.
I call it the hierarchy of canon, because
Yeah.
in Doctor Who that's a big deal when it comes to the TV show, the Big Finish dramas, the books, the comic books. There's just so much that there needs to be a hierarchy of canon, and novelizations are probably the bottom of the totem pole, honestly.
Star Wars is one of those interesting things, though, because no matter what, George's 6 movies are the top of the pyramid. Everything that those say must be adhered to and everything that. But then with Star Wars, after that, then comes the various levels of the EU for the time that George was basically overseeing it, and therefore all of the EU is legitimate, even though George always complained about things here and there. Nothing happened in the EU without his approval. So every book, every comic was legitimate. It was lore, it was source material. And now when you get to that, novels trump comics. And then comics trump, novels trump comics, but video games and comics, it depends on which video game, because some would say that when you read Shadows of the Empire, Dash Rendar dies in it, but if you play the video game on the N64, he survives. And then you read a comic later on, and he appears in a comic later on. So you have to go through the different levels and decide which is what. But they still all fit together because guess what? The EU was organized. It was not the fallacy that they like to push that it was a disorganized mess. It worked. Go ahead, Jen.
Where does Twitter come into the hierarchy of canon? Because I know J.K. Rowling likes to affect her canon with it.
Oh yeah, okay, we're gonna get there. Twitter is what I stepped in when I took the garbage out this morning.
Okay, good. So we shouldn't take it as fact just because J.K. tweeted it that toilets didn't exist until 50 years before the movies, and before that, wizards would shit in their pants and magic it away.
Expelliarmus, their shit, or whatever you want to do it. Anyway, so you see this guy here. He says the whole thing because a book written by somebody that wasn't an approved author by George Lucas. Remember, everything over here. I'm gonna big screen myself so I don't have to do it. Everything right there was approved by George Lucas. Oversaw. Nothing happened without his stamp of approval. But this person who wrote the novelization of Rise of Skywalker, that according to this idiot, trumps George Lucas. To which I said, well, actually, no, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up myself real quick because I have it. You could see my part of it. You got it right there. George didn't write it or approve it. Case closed, not Star Wars. And then overnight, because I'd also leveled another shot at him overnight, then this happened. They don't like it. They don't like it when you point out the obvious.
So I have a question in regards to this because this kind of confused me, and Jed kind of touched on it a bit about like sometimes the novelization is used as canon and sometimes not, depending on the argument they're trying to make, of course. Revisionist history, the same old. At what point do we have to acknowledge, and as far as their own logic is concerned, which is loose as is, when do we have to acknowledge that there's no way that Luke gave her that blessing at any point? Just logistically speaking. If you look at the Last Jedi, what moment did they have? What emotional moment did they connect for her to be adopted by Luke?
When she beat him up?
Like, when did that happen? What moment did they have throughout any of these films in which she was like, "You are my daughter. You're like a daughter to me," or something? To that nature?
Force Ghost.
But that was in the next one. Dre's talking about Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, in the Last Jedi, no, nothing.
None.
No.
They didn't even.
She beat him with a stick.
Even appear to her. He even appeared to her in the Last Jedi at all.
Yeah.
So we're going based off of when he saved his lightsaber from the expires.
I don't know.
See. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Look, I've got no problem with people making fan fiction. I've got no problem with that.
Call it fan fiction.
Yes, it's fan fiction. That's what it's for. That's what it's about. But when you then start just making up nonsense, and when the lunatics take over the asylum, it's out of control. Oh, he nodded. Where was this nod? I was looking for a nod. When did he acknowledge that he loved her like a daughter? Where is that emotional connection that we need in order to adopt somebody? It's just the sole fact that she exists. So therefore, I'm going to bestow my name upon my enemy's grandchild. What are we talking about? Like this is the kind of stuff that boils my piss, because it's just so outrageous to make these assumptions and connect these dots. They're clearly not there. We all went to elementary school. We all know the drawing the dots to make the giraffe. This Joan, you took the giraffe picture and turned it into a daggone star. That's not how it works. It's not how it works.
No.
It's absurd. And look, I'm saying, like, look, in people's headcanon, do what you want, but do not preach this gospel of nonsense. And that's where you got to draw the line somewhere.
You just
And
said
these
it.
Twitter people are crazy.
Headcanon. Headcanon is not lore. Headcanon is not source material. Headcanon is what you do to try and fix something so that your brain doesn't short circuit as you're trying to figure it out. That's what headcanon, or to try and give yourself a little bit of sweet release to just kind of put something away and never go near it again, where you can find some closure. But these people exist in headcanon because they need headcanon to fix the endless plot holes that exist in Disney Star Wars. Because there is. But this is just the start of it. They start with the whole Rey is this, Rey is that, and they can't handle it, can't stand it when we push back and this happens. Now, granted, do I sometimes push back a little harder? True, because that's my game on X Twitter. If you follow me there, you know that my goal is to get blocked by these people so I never have to hear from them again. And it's also my trophy list, my wall of reward, that they're so triggered by whatever I'm saying, because I only come at them with truth. Yeah, sometimes I do a dig at them, but I only come at them with truth. They can't handle it. They can't argue it because they have no leg to stand on. Because what we've seen since this has evolved over the past 24 hours to Rey's new Jedi Order movie. And I was, unfortunately, I was on my other partition, so I didn't, and I forgot you can bookmark things on Twitter. Usually I just bookmark them to my browser, so I forgot that. But I saw this yesterday while I was waiting to start Pal World with the guys. This conversation has now evolved into Rey's new Jedi Order experience will be so great because it's going to be her proving to the world, the galaxy, that a Palpatine can do good. And that's why she's a Skywalker.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It could be interesting in a good written universe, a well-written universe, to have, the child of a villain coping with that legacy. I mean, it's been done 1,000 times before, but have her, like, that arc you just said, saying a Palpatine can do good. In a well-written universe, I would find that interesting. But in this, it's gonna be horribly written if that is the case. It's gonna be blatant in your face with exposition, blatant enough for toddlers to roll their eyes at it. So yeah, no, it's.
And quick tangent question from Jay Fraser 360 for you, Jed. Have you read the Day of the Doctor novelization?
I haven't read many of the novelizations of the actual episodes, partially because of the hierarchy of canon issue, and just prefer the episodes. So no, I haven't read either that one or Rose. I have heard bad things about the Rose one, just like you're saying there. But yeah, okay. The Day of the Doctor episode is fantastic, so I'm sure the novelization is great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, back to this one. But this is so that's what it evolves into, and then paired with this whole. They're so adamant you have to accept Rey as a Skywalker. We're going to make shit up to make you accept it. But then it runs along with this shit right here. We talked about this last week. We've been talking about it. This whole push that Star Wars is for women too. Women is for Star Wars, this and that. Guys, listen, we've hung out with ladies here and there over the years. I have known girls who like Star Wars.
What? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm a woman, so of course I'm going to know other women. Okay?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah, of course. So we know for actual facts that there have been female fans for years. Okay.
100%.
Mhm.
This retarded picture right here. This is social media coming alive. This isn't organic. These are people showing up to do this to send a message. I don't think any of these are real Star Wars fans. I even question if a couple. I question if a couple of them are actually women.
Is there a dude in
Yes.
there?
I question that.
Probably.
Probably
Well,
one or two.
I can say clearly I'm not a Comic-Con expert. I've only been to a couple, but the ones that I have seen, there's not a single costume, even with the big release of a film, that has that many people ready to go, that identical.
Yeah.
That has to be staged. They're too fucking identical.
I'm
And-
inclined to agree. There's two ways this can happen. Now, this is someone that's gone to every con that could possibly imagine. There's two ways this happens. One is if there's actually put out as a lookalike contest. If
True.
there's a lookalike contest, we can get a line like this. I've seen that before.
But that's a planned thing. That makes it not organic. It's a planned
Exactly. It's planned that people will be showing up as Rey in order to do the contest.
Mhm.
So yes, that's one. The other way that this could happen, which would never be natural, is that they called up a bunch of broads to come and dress up like this for a photo op. Now,
No, they wouldn't pay people to do things like
Oh, there will be no payment. There will be a alleged payment.
Just go to LA, say you're doing a casting call for the new Star Wars movie, but you have to come up dressed as Rey. You'd get it all for free.
Yeah.
But do I want that from free from these ladies? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe this one, maybe that one, but not that one.
No, the one behind.
That's a man. Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Number 6. Number 6 is a dude.
Let's see, 3, 4.
2 behind the hot one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Dude.
I think that might be a dude too.
I'll bet the farm on it.
That's
What's
a dude
that
right
pose
there. That's a dude right there. That's a dude.
What's the pose they're doing? I don't remember Rey ever doing that in the film.
I don't know.
The second movie when
this
she
one's
was
giving
looking
the
at
middle finger.
And
her hand was. Oh, yeah.
And she goes like that. They're doing the mirror
Mhm.
thing because she was
I
supposed to figure
feel
out who her daddy is or something or whatever. Man, these movies are stupid.
Yeah, I know. but let's look at the act again, just to prove once again the whole false narrative that women have never been involved with Star Wars. One, again, in all seriousness, I've known plenty of girls who like Star Wars over the years. I've played video games with them. I've played online games with them. I know because I heard them in my ear. It wasn't just a dude pretending to be a girl on the screen. I had them in voice chat, and I know people who've actually met them, so I know they're real. Also, for Andre, as a man who has been to conventions for many a decade, what is the most popular female Star Wars cosplay of all time?
That's Leia.
Specifically,
Slave Leia.
Leia in the gold bikini.
It's not even close. It's
every
not even
young man's
close.
fantasy. If you were born in the 1980s, that it hands down. And Carrie Fisher was fit as fuck.
Everyone that does Star Wars cosplay that I have seen over the years, over the many years I've gone to cons all over the place, all over up and down the East Coast, Leia, either in princess white garb with the buns, or
classic,
or gold bikini.
You know, I didn't want to bring this one up because I don't need to see Chris Gore in a bikini. I don't need to see that. But that is the right thing, though. That's what.
But it's the reality.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody comes at. I've seen maybe 3 Rays in my entire viewing
and
lifetime.
Jed, make the group one larger. Click on that one. Just bring that up. One thing is always thing about the Leia in the gold bikinis. Those girls come in looking good.
Oh yeah, they put forth some effort.
And not only that, but these are girls who belong in bikinis.
Yeah,
it's not the frumps who swaddle themselves in Ray rags.
No,
the ladies in the gold bikini, they know they look good, and they are happy to show it off.
Yeah,
and I'm happy they show it off myself. So.
Because in real life, this is what, and I can't stress this enough. Like we've been talking about the male gaze and all that crap. Let me tell you something. Women like this costume as well. It's powerful because they know the power that those
I will crawl after them while they're wearing this.
Yes. Yes, it is something to behold. They know the power that that bikini holds. They know it. It's not up for debate. It's not over there, but men will look at me. Shut up. Real life always dictates what's really happening. Those people are like, oh, this is objectifying. No, no, you have no penis. And look, this is the reality. These ladies love dressing this way because they like to feel sexy. We as heterosexual males like to look at beautiful women. It's a
Yes.
win-win.
Yes. And on occasion, touch them. In the gold bikini, which I admit I haven't done yet. I have not fulfilled that fantasy yet. That hasn't happened yet.
We all have dreams.
Ladies, you can fulfill that fantasy for me someday. There's that can still happen. Hey, I've already lost all credibility of this episode. I'm just gonna run with it.
The most likely person to dress up like this for you, Adam, is Dermy.
Stop, you asshole! I really, god damn it, you son of a bitch.
You knew what was coming.
Yeah, dude. Last night when I died in Pal World, and Dermy was the closest one to come revive me. He revived me from behind.
Of course.
He stood behind me while he did it. Going, yeah, I'm reviving you. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Because I'm rotating my camera, like, where are you? Are you here yet? He's like, here I am. And my camera rotates around, and there he is standing behind me, literally while I'm on my knees. You know, Fortnite style when you're crawling. Because that's what happens in Power. You have a cooldown. You crawl like in Fortnite. So I'm crawling around looking for him. I'm here. And I turn, and there he is standing behind me, literally, you know, violating my character's back taco.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, listen. I've already admitted it. I can't deny it. For the rest of this episode, I guess I'm a woman. For the rest of today's episode, anyway. But this is the thing. They are pushing so hard. There are these trash stan accounts all over the place running with the whole Star Wars is for everyone. Star Wars is for everyone. Star Wars is for women. We are allowed to be here too. It's ridiculous. And it's a false narrative. And every time you point it out, they either block you or throw out the bullshit stories like Carrie Fisher was demeaned. No, Carrie Fisher was, at the time, happy in the gold bikini, did multiple photo shoots.
That woman was a goddess. What are they talking about?
Yeah, and she knows she was being worshipped at that point by every teenage male in America and around the world.
Yes.
So, I mean, I was not a teenage male. It was a little while before I could worship her in that proper manner, but that was reality. But here's the reality now. They want to push this narrative that we are against the Rey movie and we are against all things DC Star Wars because we hate women. We're misogynists. And one of their current favorite targets is a man who we have spoken about on this channel or on this show. Not my channel. I usually avoid it on my channel. I use it for the show because it's just discussion. Where while we have wondered for a long time where his head was in all this, we question it. We've never, ever once questioned his legitimacy as somebody who loves Star Wars. And that is Star Wars Theory. Star Wars Theory in the recent months has had a sort of come to Jesus moment when we are talking about Disney Star Wars. He is the cloth has found both sides. Now he still has apparently a bit of love for Dave Filoni, but him and Mahler have a show on Mondays now. I leave that to Mahler to break him of that habit. That's a Mahler issue. Mahler can have fun talking him out of his love for Dave Filoni. But the thing is, it has now become chic for stans to go after Star Wars Theory, the biggest Star Wars social media channel on the internet. And again, loving him and hate him, he is a real Star Wars fan, and I respect what he has built. I may disagree with him on things, and I have been vocal about. I've even tweeted at him a couple times saying, basically, dude, what are you doing? Back when he was really riding the fence about this stuff, but I never attacked him. And Dre and I, we've had this multiple conversations. We've never attacked him. We've simply questioned that. But I give Theory all the respect in the world because he will also talk to anybody. He'll talk to anybody. But what happens now? when they try to dogpile him. They try to dogpile, they try to make him the villain, so much so that Rolling Stone has written an article about Star Wars theory. This dropped yesterday, and it's making the rounds, and all the stands and theory haters are trying to say, "Oh, we're not surprised now." We saw this a couple weeks ago. I believe we watched it on Ballbusters, the hot psychologist who he had on. We were all talking about. I know on Ballbusters, we were all saying how we were going to do all kinds of things to her.
No,
and
of course.
Well, she's hot. And problem is, we were trying to decide if her wafy-looking Middle Eastern boyfriend was her boyfriend or her husband, and we said we don't care. We will win her. He's got a small penis, all kinds of things. I mean, Devil and I were particularly trying to make the case that we could steal her from him. Just give us a chance, and we could fix her and be okay. Problem is, no. So she gave her thing talking about how now she gave the very normie point of view that women aren't into Star Wars, this and that, and we've disagreed with that. There are girls Star Wars, but from a normie perspective, there aren't a lot of girls involved. It is a male-oriented brand. We agree on that, right? Or originally it used to be for
predominantly, absolutely.
Yeah, for a male, for a female.
Well, I want to point out this headline here says his guest. It doesn't point out that this is a woman saying this. They want to avoid that connotation if at all possible, because that breaks the entire narrative of this article, is admitting that the woman who said this was a woman and not just some other man baby woman hater on YouTube.
Yeah. And the problem is they tried to discredit her. All the stands tried to discredit her right away when this interview dropped. I remember seeing the tweets. So let's go through this. I've only skimmed it. So let's go through this. So his guest said women don't like Star Wars, and he agreed, sparking an internet debate. Popular streamer Star Wars Theory has brought back a familiar, if unwelcome, internet discourse. Excuse me. We're talking about real Star Wars versus Disney Star Wars, the thing they don't want to talk about because they want to make real Star Wars go away. Nia, N-I-A-D is, what is, Nia D is the streamer behind Star Wars Theory channel dedicated to George Lucas' Science Fiction Universe.
Who's the editor for this?
I don't know. What the hell are they even saying?
Fire him immediately.
Okay, Nia D is the streamer behind Star Wars Theory. Oh, is that Theory's real name?
No, I think that's the psychologist's name. Nia is a woman's name.
Okay. Oh, I don't remember. I was just looking at her body. I wasn't looking at her name. I don't remember. A channel dedicated to the George Lucas Science Fiction Universe with over 3.3 million subscribers on the YouTubes alone. Most of his content revolves around discussing Star Wars, internet theory, debating, casting choices, and discussing new announced releases. And remember, Theory's primary thing was to be the positive guy. The rest of us all get called grifters, and now he's called the grifter too, because guess what? He stopped being the positive guy. He started questioning the reality. And that's the problem. All the fake fans, the stands on X Twitter, they want to say, we're here for positive discourse with our mutuals and our community and our friends here. You negative grifters, you're the real problem. But you liked Theory until he started questioning. Suddenly questions, you don't like him anymore. Suddenly he's bad. But I also draws viewer. What?
Yo.
How is this the Rolling Stones?
Where are your editors? What is going on? Holy crap.
But Theory also draws viewers by courting controversy. During a January episode on Theory Talks, his channel focused on critical theory. He hosted psychologist Sadia Khan, who derided Hollywood directors for centering female stories within male-dominated fandoms. Do we need more women in Star Wars? No, we don't, Khan said. And women don't even watch Star Wars. They don't even care about it. It's a man's little thing. Let them have it. Again, that's a normie perspective. Somebody who probably isn't even into it doesn't understand that while
in the video she admits that she's not a Star Wars fan, that she's seen the movies once, but
which makes it even more prevalent because she's a normie and a woman.
She's not a nerd. It proves the point.
Instantly, the moment she
yeah.
said it.
Normie women, normie non-nerds don't understand that girl nerds, chick nerds, they are into it. But there are fewer of them. That is a thing. I've seen Anna, that Star Wars girl, on Twitter replying to this other things. She has said she's right. And girls like me, not me, but Anna, girls like me are a minority in the fan base. But that doesn't mean we're not here. And we haven't always been here. Let's keep going. This isn't the first time that the Star Wars fandom has dealt with disagreements surrounding racism and sexism within their ranks. How are we here already with that? How are we here already? Out of nowhere.
Where's racism coming from?
Reva. That's what I bet.
I mean,
and
from the
Rose
paragraph
Tico.
we just read, nobody mentioned anybody's race.
Oh, I see Moses Ingram. I see it. We're
gonna get there. But no, racism and sexism are tied together implicitly in these people's minds, so they're just interchangeable.
Wait a minute. I think I see the problem here. This ad might be covering some words there. Okay, there we go. Well, they're gonna go down the list. Let's keep going because they're gonna list the greatest hits of more racism and more sexism. Following premiere of the most recent Star Wars films helmed by actress Daisy Ridley, thousands of fans accused Disney of going woke by having a female lead. Lie. Lies, lies, lies. We attack them for going woke for making a feminist lead and by stealing the male agency from Star Wars, stealing Luke's agency, his story, and giving it to Rey Palpatine. That's what we said. Nobody hates Daisy Ridley. We don't like Rey because she's a character that is thin, shallow, and doesn't earn her story and is a Mary Sue. And here comes the other part. In 2017, Kelly Marie Tran became the first woman of color. Why don't you just call her Asian? Call her Asian. Oh, you know why? Because Disney tried to put any old Asian in the movie to sell it to China, not knowing that the Chinese hate the Vietnamese.
It's so funny, but yeah, especially China, they're definitely the most racist country in the world that I'm familiar, at least prominent one. So yeah, it's funny. They're just incredibly racist. It's everyone who's not Chinese.
Even close.
No,
Jed, it's not even close. They hate everybody.
It's so funny.
Well, they do like big American penis, though.
That's true.
That's about it.
I can attest to that. I was there once. Anyway.
They'll use me.
Yeah. In 2017, Kelly Marie Tran was the first woman of color to have a leading role in Star Wars film. She was supporting actress. That wasn't leading role.
Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't count.
In a 2018 New York Times op-ed, she wrote she received sexist and racist harassment from the fans. Their words seem to confirm what growing up as a woman and a person of color already taught me, that I belonged in the margin spaces, valid only as a minor character of stories. I believe that is completely taken out of context, if I remember correctly. That was not related to that comment. And then she left social media, but she left of her own accord. She was not bullied off of social media, but the stands are still pushing that to this day. One of my favorite ones, who I just can't seem to get blocked by, recently did one of his retarded engagement posts saying, we must all remember that Kelly Marie Tran did nothing wrong and she shouldn't be bullied off of social media by these Star Wars toxic fans. I'd like to bully you off social media, you piece of shit. Where was I? In 2020, British actor John Boyega, who played Finn, a black stormtrooper in The Force Awakens, told GQ that after he was cast, he was targeted and harassed by fans. When? Where? When? All I remember the stories around Finn is, why did you destroy his possible character arc?
He was the most interesting one from the trailers from Force Awakens. That's the one people were interested in the most. And it's not even close. A reformed stormtrooper is kind of a cool concept. So, yeah, that's what people had a problem with.
And this article doesn't mention that it was China that Disney shrunk him on the posters for China, because China doesn't like black people.
And you know what I really appreciate what Jed just mentioned there. Jed at no point in his description of Finn mentioned that he was black because it didn't matter. We were
Nope.
interested on, hey, a reformed stormtrooper. And when I heard that, I'm like, that's different. That's cool. That's going to be an interesting perspective to see things from a different angle. It had nothing to do with him being a black guy. There's all these race baiters, all these psychopaths on Twitter, all of these people. These are the racist people. If you just see, oh, he's a black guy, so we should celebrate him. What are you talking about? No, the character could have been interesting, which of course is rumors that he was supposed to be the Jedi in the story, and then Kathleen Kennedy sodomized that whole story and blah 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 blah.
That would have been cool. A reformed
would've been
stormtrooper
cool.
turned Jedi.
Yeah, but we can't have nice stuff. So that would have been really, really cool and interesting. But you know, it is what it is. It's all these race baiters. They're all a bunch of morons.
And here comes the ultimate one right here. In 2022, when black actress, you forgot to mention she was Yale trained this time, guys. Actress Moses Ingram was cast in the Obi-Wan TV series. She was also inundated with derogatory DMs that both her fellow castmates and Disney made statements condemning that response. Oh no, let's remember there were only 3, and they were. Does 3 count as inundated?
No, and 2 of them weren't that bad. There was one that was pure racism. That one was horrible, from what I remember.
It was legitimate.
It was just so over the top that you're like, is that real? It was full Jussie Smollett level of over the top. So gotta question that.
We question whether any of those things were even real. It sounded fabricated because before the show even hit the airwaves, Disney launched that. What was it? Vanity Fair?
Was it Vanity
right. Fair?
Yeah.
The Vanity Fair article attacking real Star Wars fans as toxic racists.
Yep.
Saying
that's correct.
You're going to hate Moses Ingram because she's black when we hadn't even seen the character yet.
Yep.
I mean, we were already going, this is probably going to suck. But we weren't attacking anybody. But they started it. And then as soon as they started, they came out with these the inundation of attacks on her, all 3 of them, and we question whether or not they're even real because they don't look real, they don't sound real, and there were no receipts after that. Nothing. Honestly, you look at those things, you couldn't even tell where they were taken from, what social media platform they were from. I believe they said they were from Instagram. I'm sorry, who's going to Instagram to start a social media troll war?
Yeah, that's not Twitter. It's not a common practice.
It's not how it works. If you want to see us trolling Disney Star Wars, it's very easy to find it on Twitter. And nowhere in any of the trolling that I have been a part of or witnessed are we actually throwing out any of the old-timey racisms. We ain't doing it.
Well, yeah, the criticism we have is rarely, if ever, personal, unless, that person is an extreme personality-wise. And that's what they always do first. Like, these people who always like, oh, you disagree with us about Star Wars? Ad hominem. You're racist, you're sexist, you look ugly, you're fat. And we're just like, we're criticizing your points. You're criticizing us. There's a difference.
Yeah. So this is the false narrative. And that's, we keep coming. This is what Disney Star Wars and Disney Star Wars stands do. They push these false narratives that we don't like these things because we're more racist or more sexist, which is not true. That's not how we are. We want good Star Wars, and we're criticizing bad Star Wars. But they have no defense for it. So they're going to call us every derogatory name under the book, including, as Son of Joxer mentioned earlier, I got called a gatekeeper yesterday. I replied to somebody put up this retarded. It's one of the things I do hate about X Twitter. Oh, I'm going to put up my rankings of the Star Wars movies. They do this constantly for their engagement. And the latest one is just putting up the posters. And some guy put out the sequel trilogies and everything else in Star Wars above the real stuff, but had Empire Strikes Back all the way down at 11.
I saw that one.
And a lot of people replied, and I gave my usual reply of, this is what a stand does, is a tourist, blah, blah. And the guy actually replied to me and said, "You're a gatekeeper." You know what my reply was? "You damn straight, get the fuck out."
And I'm glad. And Adam, you just hit the nail on the head. This is where we went wrong. We went terribly wrong. We should have been gatekeepers. This is where we should have been. We should have let everybody, like, no one can come. That's what we should have been. Nobody can come because we were open to it. We enjoy the fact that something that we love was finally getting mainstream appeal. It was something that we wanted to share with everybody, and now we've let everybody in, and they have sodomized it in front of us. We should have been gatekeepers. We should have been.
Well, we were happy nerds. We wanted to share our shit.
Yes, I wanted to share my joy.
Now this person thinks that's an insult to me, and I said right away, if you think this is an insult, no, it isn't. I will wear gatekeeper as a badge of honor because it's my job to protect what's left.
Yeah,
and kick all you assholes out because I'm still fighting this particular fight.
And it's unfortunate. And the fact of the matter is we've said a million times. We'll say it again. We were here first, and in order to gatekeep, there has to be something left to protect, which ain't a whole lot left. But for what we have left, we have to defend it because they've gotten their mittens on everything. And look, as far as a ranking is concerned, if you want to put Empire Strikes Back at the bottom, you're either just trolling or you're stupid. But either way, if you think that is the worst one, fine, you're just dumb. That's great. But don't come at other people when they defend or disparage your list and then immediately start calling names. No, it just makes you look stupid. Well, you are, but all the same.
In fact, each new Star Wars offering, whether a series, a new film, or even a comic book, is often met with staunch criticisms from specific diehard fans accusing the franchise of bending to social justice warrior or feminist desires, something Naya, I guess that is Theory's first name, himself has echoed. No, it's real fans pushing back because we were here first and we're defending what's left. All right, keep going. While Naya didn't acknowledge the statement during the conversation with Khan, much of the online criticism has centered around his strong and sometimes negative opinions surrounding women characters in science fiction series and fan spaces. Mostly his accusations that Disney executives have been creating and centering female characters as part of an agenda. Let's be honest, Theory's late to the party on that. He's been trying to maintain his whole I cover Star Wars positively thing for a lot of years. It's only recently that he is going to that side of the argument. So, I mean, this is mischaracterization of how Theory has run his channel for the past 6 or 7 years. Am I fair saying that? Because I don't watch Theory. I don't watch Theory.
No,
I've never watched a single one of his videos.
No, see, I've been watching Theory since he started. Me and my brother.
Good. Then you can say this, yeah. All right.
Yeah, me and my brother watched him when he first started, and we were like, "Hey, this guy's pretty good," because he was just talking about EU lore. That's how he got his channel started. He's talking about EU lore, Star Wars comic books, all that stuff. Yeah, that's how his channel started snowballing. So yes, for the last 6 years or so. And I've been on record several times of getting on him about straddling the fence
on the show
because
that's where
I mean, like he was wishy-washy. He was like, "Oh my god, my heart is broken." He was being a battered housewife, just coming back for more of that whooping. But now, for the first time ever, he's taken an absolute stand, saying, "I've tried my best. I wanted this stuff to be good, but you just keep on beating me." And he had this lady on. And this is how disingenuous this stinking article is. Mm-hmm. First of all, you're pointing all towards Theory as the problem, when literally every word that was spoken was from a woman. And not once have they acknowledged, not even in the title, that this is a woman who is not a Star Wars fan, who is an absolute normie, is speaking from her experience as that target demo that they're trying to get.
But Dre, he nodded while she was talking, so everything he believes too. It's everything that he said.
He let a woman speak.
Oh yes, of course.
That's misogynist now, I guess.
Oh yeah, of course. It's misogynist when she's saying something we don't like.
Yeah.
What the freak, man? And that's what I'm saying. Like, he has set a record, and I gotta say, I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of him over recent months of him actually taking a stand.
Yeah.
Finally.
And what I love is, and it kind of goes into this here. He says, "I'm done with Star Wars," but then of course, he's still going to keep covering. And they go, "I thought he was done with Star Wars, but he's still making videos. He's a grifter." No, that's his channel. It's Star Wars content, and if he's shifting it to being more critical, then that's his prerogative. And if he's trying to make money on it, oh no, that's his goddamn job. The man makes a lot of money, has made a lot of money being a Star Wars YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid he makes a profit. God forbid any of us make a profit off of talking about this shit. No, we have to go eat cat food like and sleep in piss like they do. God damn. Following Naya's episode with Khan, thousands of fans spoke out against the streamer, accusing him of promoting the platform. No, say stands. It was stands. I mean, if you're a Theory fan, you still like him. And if you are kind of neutral on him like I am, you don't care. I'm simply covering this because it's an interesting story surrounding somebody who has, again, my respect. I don't watch him. I'm not into him, but I respect Theory because I know he's a real deal. I know he's the real deal. I would never question his love of Star Wars. Never. Not once. Accusing him of promoting a platform and platforming sexist and misogynistic views. On TikTok, women began posting clips of themselves enjoying or participating in Star Wars culture with "Women in Star Wars" hashtag, pushing back against Khan's claims. Again, God damn it, Jed, I did it.
You did what again?
The problem is, I'm trying to talk, so keeping up with my thoughts, I'm looking for non sequitur transition words, and that's the current one that my retarded brain is latched onto. I can't get away from it.
At least it's not but or something.
Oh, I do, but I do all the time. I do but that's because that's normal because my brain can't keep up with my mouth sometimes. It's the old New Yorker in me. I talk quickly and the thoughts can't keep up with the mouth. Anyway, on TikTok we began posting, but that's the thing that they've been doing. We just talked about that. This inauthentic, not organic movement of we like Rey, so we're all Star Wars fans. Look at us. No, you're not. Videos using the hashtag have over 4.1 views. It's TikTok. It's TikTok. You could almost kill yourself and get 1 million views. You could take a picture of some chick's ass and get almost 1 million views. It's TikTok. That's how TikTok works. Frankly, 4.1 million views, that's not a lot on TikTok with the way that shit works, if I understand it. I mean, that's a slow day on TikTok. After watching Star Wars Theory's videos, Olivia, a 16-year-old girl from New York, used audio of the interview to make a TikTok edit showing all the women, both in Star Wars and who have enjoyed the series. She's 16. She doesn't know anything.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say.
She hasn't even been alive long enough to know Star Wars.
Here's the problem here. Here's the problem.
Hey,
You're all these,
all these young ladies, whether they're fans of Star Wars or not, it's irrelevant. Because I know what ladies are into, and it's not Star Wars. Star Wars has been and always will be a boy brand. Star Wars, Hot Wheels, and comic books. These are boy brands. It's the reality of the situation. Are there girls out there that like Hot Wheels? Yes. Matter of fact, my aunt, who I grew up with, was super cool, and she collected Hot Wheels, and she was in a minority because women aren't as a whole into Hot Wheels.
Exactly.
It's simple stuff here. If I say, hey, I'm about to watch Real Housewives of Miami, I assure you I'm going to be the only dude watching it. Because women are into reality television.
That's my mum in a nutshell. She'll watch reality TV shows over anything I would watch. That's why on the rare occasions, if we're having pizza together at one night, we struggle trying to find something that we both like because we both like different things.
And see, that's the point. They're brands. Reality TV is a girl brand. That doesn't mean that men don't watch it, but it just means the overwhelming majority is women. And there's nothing wrong with that. Are there ladies that are fans of Star Wars? 100% true. Are the majority men? Undisputedly.
Yeah.
It's not up for debate. All the stuff, we're gonna change it, the Force is female. It doesn't matter, because in reality, it's a boy brand, and women as a whole aren't into it, and it's fine.
But Dre, she's 16.
Well, this young lady is being influenced by social media generation.
She's being manipulated.
Yeah.
By social media.
The social media generation of these poor babies, I feel for them. I really do. They do not have their own singular thought in their mind.
No.
That young lady, I guarantee you what went down. That young lady saw an article or saw another TikTok on Instagram of the interview and was like, oh, they're telling me that I should say that I'm a Star Wars fan, and went through every Google search he possibly could to make a collage. I will bet the farm on it. That is what went down. Now, it doesn't mean the young lady doesn't like Star Wars. Maybe she does like Rey. Maybe she does like the movies. I don't know how, but let's just say she does. She'll be in the minority still. It doesn't matter. The chips are in. It's 4th and goal. The game is over. It's a boy brand.
But dude, she told Rolling Stone that she created this now popular crypto to remind people how important women are to the Star Wars fandom. They make it about, but they make it about this retarded gender, retarded women in this, women in that, feminist bullshit agenda shit. They're not actually talking. Realize they're not actually talking about Star Wars here.
Yep.
They're just talking about agenda. I guarantee these people couldn't tell you.
Fans of Star Wars for decades. Decades.
Yes, I'm old.
Have you ever once in your life made a collage on all the dudes that are enjoying Star Wars?
No, but I've made Star Wars collages.
Yes, for your own personal use.
I made a poster for my door in college.
You know why?
Some bastard set it on fire.
Oh God! Oh Jesus! That got dark quick. But that's what I'm saying. That's what fandom is. You don't have to sit there and be like, I'm gonna prove that boys like Star Wars. No, you don't, because you are a fan. It's not debatable. I don't have to prove my fandom to dick all. Nobody cares. If you are a fan of Star Wars or comic books, whatever the case may be, and if somebody says, I'm a real fan, we'll either challenge you on your knowledge or challenge you on what events you've gone to or whatever the case may be.
I would
not
say right
if
now,
you have a vagina or not.
My question would be, what's your favorite Star Wars track? I could say mine without thinking. Asteroid Field.
See?
Well, with some of these people, you just have to ask them what their favorite Star Wars movie is, and they'll go like, I love all the Star Wars. I do not discriminate. I just love Star Wars.
I can't wait for the accolade. I'm so excited.
That is so retarded. If you have a favorite, you have a favorite. Like let's say, look, I've got God knows how many comics in this house alone. Probably trillions. And I can tell you still which one are my favorites, even though I enjoy them all. It's not hard. Fandom is very easy to follow.
Yeah.
It's okay to not be a fan of something. Just because something is trending doesn't mean you now have to pledge allegiance to the fandom. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. And this is like, I'm going to say I like it because women need to be in. No, if you don't like it, go home. I get it. And we do all love the golden bikini. That is universal.
I've loved it many times.
Yeah. Oh God.
I told you I'm leaning into it today. I was surprised at the huge response of how many people, including female and male Star Wars fans, those are not males. We have worked very hard to take back their man cards. They don't have their man cards anymore. Came together by making their videos using my sound. Star Wars was created for everyone. That is the failure of an argument right there. When you have to say that, it shows me you're not a fan. You're a tourist. You don't believe in this. You don't believe in Star Wars. Because a real fan doesn't need to be running around saying this shit. They just do. This is all being done for virtue signaling. And then Rachel Leishman. Oh, I believe that is the Mary Sue editor that I've been covering recently because I've been finding these Mary Sue articles that are just brilliant. In fact, do I have one today? Wait, do I have one today, or is that from another thing? Anyway, I might have one. I used one recently. Excuse me. Star Wars Theory pushing the narrative that women aren't fans of Star Wars on its platform by having a psychologist on their thing. It's for boys? Wow, so shocked. Who knew she was a piece of shit? Oh, me. I did, and almost every other sane fan of Star Wars I know. Rachel Leishman. Again, I believe this is the Mary Sue
It wouldn't surprise me.
writer that I've been covering recently, a couple articles. She most recently did a Star Trek article. I know we're deviating a little bit, but this is the best example I have of this, where she spent the entire article. You guys were there on Natural 20. We've covered other things where she talked about how great the Kelvin timeline is and how you have to love it because she loves it. And now that the original TOS movies are not widely available anymore on Paramount Plus, that it's your time to watch it, even though she loves original movies, but they're not as good. And she basically denigrates original Star Trek to elevate Kelvin timeline, proving that she is a fake fan. And there were several lines in there that completely calls her out and that she's full of shit. Go ahead, Jen.
Well, do you want to know what just happened in the Kelvin timeline?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about, but
okay,
according
according
to the Kelvin timeline, Captain Pike is still alive after Deep Space Nine.
They can't even get out of TOS in Kelvin timeline. So they're goddamn Kelvin timeline is garbage. That's another discussion. Okay, now we're just going through a bunch of tweets. We're not. Again, this is what I see on a regular basis on X Twitter because I play with these people because I play with my food. I get all kinds of crap from them all the time. When reached for commenting, Rolling Stone Con said some people are looking for an excuse to be offended because then they can feel like a victim, and feeling like a victim gives them some purpose and meaning in life. Whoa! She just described the victimization industry in a nutshell. Perfect. Great. She's even hotter now. When you zoom out of your own entitled lens, you will see that not everything needs to be representative in order to be enjoyable. Oh, I will have mixed brown babies with her.
Who said
I
that?
would do that. I said that.
No.
The psychologist. The hot psychologist on Theory. Yeah. Hey, I'm staying on brand here, okay? I'm staying on brand.
That's a great quote. Of
yeah.
course it made them all upset because
it probably triggered
wholly
them
accurate.
To a reeing storm. Is there any more to this? Okay, we're still done. Naya did not respond to Rolling Stone's request for comments because Theory doesn't need to. Because he knows already that you spun this into a disastrous hit piece. But in a follow-up video acknowledging the backlash, Naya denied that he was a misogynist and instead said he is simply protective of his favorite series. It has nothing to do with being a misogynist or saying women can't enjoy Star Wars. Leave it to the extreme left to always take something that is plainly put and explained so easily and contort it into their own agenda and narrative. Well, Theory just said the absolute truth. They take it, they butcher it, and they staple it back together as a Frankenstein monster and claim this is the atrocity you've committed against us by calling a man a woman when he in fact is a woman and a man. And I kind of lost it there. Moving on. Paul Booth, a professor of media and popular culture at DePaul University, has researched fandoms for over 20 years and tells Rolling Stone that strong feelings about fandom can often turn into policing behavior. Uh-oh! Here comes gatekeeping.
Who wrote
Often,
this article? Who
Rolling
wrote this
Stone.
article?
I don't know. Well, I'll check it at the end. Often misogyny and racism emerge in fan communities because white male fans, or fans who think themselves as part of the dominant cultures, want to police the boundaries of what they think are acceptable fandom behaviors and interests by belittling and denigrating non-male and non-white. These boundary policing fans seem to say this is what the fandom should be. No, I'll throw out the white people who are non-fans too. I'll throw them out on their ass. Plain and simple. This has nothing to do with race, color, gender, sexuality. This has to do with a bunch of tourists claiming they're fans and taking over what I love and telling me that I don't belong there anymore. That's what this is. And if that requires me to be a gatekeeper to police them out, sign me up, give me a paycheck. Hell, I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free because I love Star Wars. These debates. Did I get that? Okay. Sorry, I scrolled too far there. Okay. It'd be easy to assume there's something specific to the Star Wars story that engenders such passionate and vitriolic responses from longtime fans. But because pop culture at its core mirrors conversations occurring in culture real time, Booth say? God damn it. This isn't the first time you butchered your editing. This isn't the first time there's been fighting inside the Star Wars fandom, and it certainly will last. No, actual Star Wars fans have been fighting with each other for decades. It's part of the Star Wars fandom DNA. We fight over everything. Just like Star Trek fans will fight over everything. I only watch TOS. Why did you watch TNG? No, nothing is just after TOS. Well, the prequels are butchering the lore, but I love the prequels. They fill out the Clone Wars. No, it doesn't matter, but I like Anakin's backstory. Shut up, the OT only. It's been happening for years. And at the end of the day, we shake hands. And we still say, I love Star Wars or I love Star Trek. These debates play out in public spaces like social media, which means there's a lot more attention paid to them. 25 years ago, that argument would probably have been at a convention or a specialty magazine. Yes, and they happen in comic book shops. Oh, but guess what? You all destroyed the comic book industry, so we can't hang out there and talk anymore. Right, Dre?
You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah. Used to happen in card shops and in gaming stores. Talk about that shit. So we used to go. We didn't need the internet.
It's a better time.
Yeah.
It was a better time.
Today, it's public, which means we can all read it and benefit from seeing which people are stuck in some imagined past. Oh,
imagined
past in which people are more inclusive. Well, there it is. We're just old bigots. We're dinosaurs who haven't progressed far enough to accept.
You know what? I find it very funny that it's these people that were never a part of our culture at all.
Never
have now infiltrated our culture and saying that there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Our culture was fine.
Yeah.
We will get together, yell and scream at each other, talk about each other's mothers in the name of fandom, and then we'll be back as friends after we're done. That's how our culture works. We're going to sit there and yell and scream about who is the greatest lightsaber duels, whose ship is the best, which planet would we rather start a family on, blah, 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 all the nerd stuff you can possibly imagine.
I want all these people to start a family on Alderaan.
I agree. I agree. Agreed. Let that go up in a puff of smoke. Take these bastards with them. And the thing is, they've infiltrated it, and now they're trying to not trying. Now they're trying to judge us based on how our culture works. I'm going to give you an example. Really simple one. Let's say I go to Jed's house and Jed's family eats 3-bean casserole. I don't think he does, but let's just say he does. And then I go there. I don't want no 3-bean casserole. I then say, where the fried chicken at? And they look at
me. And my grape soda.
And my grape soda and my orange drink.
I got watermelon though.
Any of this. Every
Oh,
that's
okay.
something.
Then
All
we're
right, all right.
okay.
All right.
That's something.
You got-
Appease me with something. If I go there and then say, hey, all you daggone whiteys with red beards, all y'all do is make 3-bean casserole. I don't want no 3-bean casserole. Y'all better start making some chicken up in here, or else I'm going to tell everyone that you're all a bunch of racists because you are not appeasing me. First and foremost, they're going to kick me out, and rightfully so. Because I've disrespected
Are they
their
Jed,
home.
are you gonna whip him out the door?
Jesus.
I'm all in today, man. I'm all in.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the equivalent. You came to our house, our culture. Star Wars and Star Trek and comic books and all that stuff belong to our culture. You then infiltrated and say that there's something wrong with us because you have violated our personal space. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
insane.
Do you know the best part? I do have grape soda right now. Right now.
I knew there's some color in your blood somewhere, Jen.
Here's the thing, though. You bring up 2 points. One, we all argue all the time, and we say the most horrible things. Dre, you've heard both publicly and privately. I say the most horrible things to Dermy.
Oh, yeah.
And he says the most horrible anti-Semitic things to me.
Absolutely.
Dermy hates Jews. I said that. And after we're done, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. You know, and the other point, to their point here also, we're trapped in the past. We're not inclusive. What suave, debonair man who drank Colt 45 was one of the most beloved actors in Star Wars history and characters.
Everybody loves Billy D.
One Billy D. Williams and Lando Calrissian. We're so glad to have you with us in the clouds. I mean, that alone destroys their narrative.
Yeah.
We
It's
love
deep.
Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. I've never had anybody ever tell me that they hated Lando Calrissian.
Never. Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm saying. These people do not understand our culture and wish to appropriate it.
Oh, so not only that, did they pretend that Samuel L. Jackson doesn't exist in the prequel films?
Well, it's hard to understand it because he doesn't say, "Where's my motherfucking lightsaber?" 2 seconds. They're having a problem. They're having a problem remembering that it is Sam Jackson. He's not cursing enough.
But that shows the problem. The problem is that these people know nothing. They know less than nothing.
Yeah.
And then they wish to make a judgment call on us. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy talk.
All right, let's wrap this up. And while loud detractors can produce strong feelings in fans who disagree, or maybe the truth is loud, passionate fans are rallying people every day. It's what we do here in the fellowship. Professor Kate, I want to say Einhorn, but I know it's Eichhorn, but I want to make a joke. From the new school. What the hell is the new school? What the hell? Like, are we supposed to know what that is? I don't know.
Why is it capitalized? Where's your editor?
Tells Rolling Stone that debates like these might indicate even popular franchises are beginning to become more diverse. What? I will say this unironically. Star Wars was always diverse. I don't lose it in the same soy way they say Star Wars is for everyone. No, Star Wars was always diverse. Always. The cultural impact of fandom since the 1980s has been largely driven by interventions of, I've been waiting for this, of queer and BIPOC writers and illustrators, many of whom identify as women. So it's important to recognize that there is nothing new about fandoms. If male-dominated fandoms are on the rise because a small percentage of straight white male viewers are no longer feel adequately represented by the franchise they grew up watching, maybe that's not a bad thing, since one can look at the rise of the fandoms as evidence of how much it has changed in the television and film industries in recent decades. What has happened to the Star Wars franchise since us straight white males have abandoned it for the
Gone up in flames.
gone up in flames, burned down, become souls empty, has zero traction, zero interest. Nobody watches this because all they have left are these mewling queer and BIPOC trolls who do not have an ounce of passion in their hearts for anything but maybe the he-she they're staring at across from the bar. That's all they freaking care about. Because you gotta go watch the discourse surrounding Ahsoka. And what do they talk about the most? Two chicks, as Dre just said, scissor me timbering. That's all they care about. They care about which characters are going to stick what in who. They don't care about a story. They don't care about George's galaxy far, far away. They care about agenda. So these are the people that's left. And guess what? They can't even break 1 million viewers, according to Samba TV. So thanks, but no thanks. I'm gonna side with Theory on this. I'm gonna say Theory did nothing wrong. I'm gonna say Star Wars has always been diverse. There have always been women in Star Wars. And sign me up, arm me, give me a flak jacket, give me a badge, give me an insignia. I will stand at that gate and I will keep it closed until you prove to me you are a true passionate fan. And if you come around here and cry at me, then cry, be triggered. Your tears will grow my fields. All right, I'm done with this shit. God,
Dang.
mother. This is, I can't wait to hear their lamentations when Acolyte drops.
Oh,
And it does
God.
terrible. I love to see how they say, I can't wait for Acolyte. I can't wait for
forgot
Skeleton
that was
Crew.
happening.
Jed, they can't even tell you what Skeleton Crew's about, but they're excited for it.
Yeah, no one has any idea that just Jude Law. That's about all we know.
Jude Law and some kids. Yeah. Well, I guess a certain sect of people are probably excited for that. Jude Law and a bunch of kids. Yeah.
I have an unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of Jude Law in any role I've ever seen him in, if I'm being honest.
No, I mean, I don't really love or hate him, but he doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. I despise the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. I despise those movies.
I enjoyed the first one.
Because I'm a diehard book fan. I am very much into the source material.
I like the first one. Did you watch Elementary? Did you watch Elementary?
I'm with Dragon Lady
on
this.
Oh,
I like
Elementary's
those
good.
movies.
Oh God, I hate. It's basically cyberpunk. Steampunk. It's basically a steampunk version, and it just doesn't work for me. I don't think they're bad. I just despise them.
I just don't
it's
like
very
that
subjective.
Jed doesn't like fun. Jed doesn't like fun.
Elementary was good.
Elementary is good.
Yeah, I preferred that over the BBC version of Sherlock.
Really?
I like that as well.
I
but
love that one.
I think Elementary was better, maybe because I really like Lucy Liu as an actress.
I mean, they pulled off Lucy Liu as Watson. Joan Watson.
Yeah.
She was good. And also helps that Lucy Liu at 50 is still smoking hot.
Oh, yeah.
But also she pulled it off, and they gave her an age. They gave her a story. They gave her something to do. And she evolved. She goes from being just a sober companion to a detective in her own right.
Yeah.
And they and giving Sherlock his own story. Aside from a lot of things, they didn't do a Reichenbach Falls. They didn't do all this stuff. They gave you great, compelling ideas. They went more into his father. They had Mycroft in there a lot. I really enjoyed Elementary. It stuck the landing, and it left the door open for future seasons, which was cool. For maybe a reboot or a movie or something like that. TV movie. I always liked it. I enjoyed it. I recommend it.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, no, I
when
love
writing mattered. So you know.
Yeah,
it's a different time.
I love the Benedict Cumberbatch show, though. I
enjoyed that
one. But yeah, the Robert Downey Jr. movies, they just don't do it for me. Being so steampunk, so departed from the books. His version of Sherlock is significantly different. It's purely subjective. Like I can't think of any actual objective criticism. It's just an adaptation that doesn't work for me because of how much I know the books.
Jed, you are such a staunch purist. It hurts my soul.
Well, I think Jed, you would like some of Elementary because sometimes they do really good reinterpretations of some of the classical. Like their Hound of the Baskerville episode was really good.
Yeah,
Which that is the weakest episode of the Benedict Cumberbatch one, I'd say.
I liked the Hounds of Baskerville one and other episodes. So again, I just put it on the list. You know, it's just one of those things that will just prove we're never going to run out of stuff to watch because there's always things you haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
And the Robert Downey Jr. films, I always want Guy Ritchie to do a Hand of the Baskervilles film with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law in that one. I actually did a fan-made poster ages ago for that one. It wasn't very good. But it's wishful thinking.
They're still supposedly working on the third one.
We've seen that for the last 10 years.
I know. Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
pretty
Robert Downey
sure
Jr.
That's dead.
He doesn't have he needs to eat a hamburger if he's going to do that again.
Poor bloke.
But we talked about a lot here. Ow. Damn it. It's too small space here. What we've talked about a lot here is what we've seen here. This is an attempt to cancel Star Wars theory. That's what this has been, referring to the last segment. We like to call these people cancel pigs. It's a term that has cropped up in the past few months, which is appropriate because these people are pigs. They are disgusting swine who sit in their own filth and will just about eat anything. And then we'll squeal at you. Ree! All the time. They love to go after what we love. They love to go after people who even we don't agree with, but are the creators of these things we love. And just this week, we had some Harry Potter news. Harry Potter. We all like Harry Potter here at varying levels.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I'm varying levels. That's what I said, varying levels. I appreciate the books. I appreciate the creativity of the world. I'm meh on the movies because I think the adaptations were not strong enough in the end. But I enjoy it for what it is. And I've always looked forward to another round. I know Dragon Lady hates it when I mention this, but I've looked forward to another round, another adaptation that maybe get us closer to the books. Whether I originally was kind of cool, maybe if they'd gone animated, I thought that might have been cool. But we know now that Max, Warner Brothers Discovery, are going to go forward with the Harry Potter reboot. Full on, televised. It's ramping up. They're getting ready for scripts. They're looking at writers right now that the strikes are over and all that jazz, which means once they got the scripts going, they're going to get casting. But news dropped the other day that J.K. Rowling is going to be very involved. Now, if you've been following this, we already knew she's an executive producer this time. She has more control. She didn't have a lot of control over the movies, so that's how
I thought she did. She did. Because I'm pretty sure she was there with the original film.
Well, Adam, she did have some say because she made it a rule that only British actors could play the role, and that's why Robin Williams didn't play Hagrid. He was originally going to play Hagrid, but her British only rule.
But that's where it ended.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was she listed as a creative consultant?
I believe
yes,
so.
She
was involved in the movie,
but she couldn't say don't do this in a script.
Yeah, she didn't have definitive say.
That's what I'm saying. She what you said is true. But what I'm saying is she couldn't say don't do this in the movie, which is why the movies, as they went on, deviated farther and farther from certain plot points and left stuff out.
Her biggest one was the Goblin Rebellion.
Yeah,
that was the big one. She said.
And now that she's an executive producer, this Deadline doesn't have dark mode, and the apps don't really work with the way I do things. I'm sorry, Hussein. They don't really work on the way I do this. I'm sorry. I dim my screens as much as I can. I'm sorry, I can't. I if something has an automatic dark mode, I will use it like all the other show sites. But Deadline doesn't have an automatic dark mode. I'm sorry, and I've tried to use the extensions, but they screw up the text, and then I can't see anything when I do it.
Yeah, if they don't do it themselves, it's bound to have an issue.
Yeah. So if something has dark mode, I do use it I'm sorry. I apologize. Nothing I can do about it. I've tried. Anyway, as I said, we knew from the beginning when this got announced last year, she has complete creative control over this now. They can't do anything in this series without her approval. That means
There's
casting,
there's
that means
caveat to
story.
that. She
Okay.
is not involved in picking these writers,
True. And we're
which
gonna
is
get
kind
into
of probably the most important.
most important. Now we're going to go over the writers, the those who are here. I have them right here. We're going to get to that. But they've started hiring the writers, and they're getting ready. And they mentioned in this article in Deadline that she's involved. And look what happens right away. This happened yesterday. Discuss film. Known transphobe J.K. Rowling is now reported to be active exec producer on the Harry Potter series, in which she'll be involved in the show's decision making. Now, this is hot off the heels. Dre, just contain it for a second. This is hot off the heels of it being announced a few days ago that Hogwarts Legacy, it won the Year of Gaming, the most profitable game of the year. 20 million copies sold, billions of dollars made, people happy. And that's when we already talked about her, Rachel Leishman of Mary Sue. I did a video on it the other day, decided to write a whole article about how this is a horrible, horrible turn of events for trans gamers. So we got this, and we got that. And suddenly, here come the cancel page.
Wait. We want to put a caveat on there. Remember, Hogwarts Legacy, highest selling game of last year.
Yes.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
Yes. So that's what I want to talk about here. I should have brought it up. Let me bring it back up. I forgot to add this. All full admission, I was late to sitting down before we got started here, and I was not getting. Here it is. I wasn't fast enough in setting up more articles, but we have this right here. Here it is, the article. If you watched my video this week, you've seen it, but here's the proof in the pudding. Utterly depressing. Oh, no, it's Anna Valance at this one, not Rachel Leishman. Utterly depressing how popular Hogwarts Legacy was. And you go down here, and it says, depressing tale for trans gamers. And it just goes on and on and on.
These people didn't actually...
A trans game? This is the second time it's been said. What the heck is a trans gamer? What the heck is that? Are we just making up words? Are we making up words?
Yes.
They're just throwing their toys out the pram. And this
it means a non-gamer who identifies as a gamer.
What the heck? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what these words mean. We're making up words. Does that mean individuals that happen to be trans that play games? Or people that aren't gamers that identify as gamers? What the heck is going on?
It's about that whole article. It's about representation. It's about cis people not accepting that it hurts them to support a game run by made by a transphobe. It's all ridiculous bullshit. But here's what I'm talking about. Here come the cancel pigs. They cannot stand success when it overrides their narrative. And I just want to point out that these are people who aren't fans of anything, as we just said. They don't play these games. They don't watch these movies. They don't even like this stuff. But as soon as something deviates from the dogma, which is what J.K. Rowling did, the one thing she deviates from the left from is about gender. It's the one thing. She is an apostate. She must be driven out. She must be destroyed. Beautiful people like Rachel Zegler will attack her without abandon. With abandon. Sorry.
Well, I do want to add on that the game itself is not even transphobic in the way that they define it as with J.K. Rowling. It's just her involvement. In fact, the opposite is true. If these people actually were gamers and not trans gamers and would have played the game, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't like in the game, like your character is always referred to as they, them. There's a trans character.
The transfer student. Yeah, they do everything possible not to use a pronoun.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous how stringent they are with being referenced to they, whereas other games like Bethesda games where you can customize your character like that, they just avoid pronouns entirely. That might be the easiest thing to do, is just avoid it entirely, but they went out of their way to do they, them all the time, which is annoying. And then the trans bartender was a fine enough character. It was kind of funny hearing that super deep voice coming out of that woman's model, but... it was way more pro-trans than these people seem
And
to
we
realize
made
because
fun
they
of-
didn't play it. Yeah.
And we made fun of it, and that character, the bartender, was there for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then the she is gone, not to return again, because you don't do any more quests once you complete that quest line. And then there was the lesbian couple, and the representational over what is it, 17th century Hogwarts, or is it was it 18th century or 17th
It's
century?
the 19th century.
Yeah,
It's
19th century.
1880 something.
Okay, 19th century. Sorry. Okay, yeah, with 19th century Hogwarts, we made fun of it, but in the end, it didn't ruin the game
No.
because the
I
gameplay was so
enjoyed it.
engaging. It wasn't easy as hell. Yeah, the game was way too easy. It wasn't hard, but it was still fun, and I put in over 100 hours in it, and I had a good time. And I only got denied my platinum because of the stupidity of that one level where you're going through the Deathly Hollows level. And I was just the way I played, I would save my super Eldritch attack, my bars for that. I would save that in case I really needed to blast something big. And one of the trophies was use that abilities on a certain mobs in there. And I didn't use it because I was always expecting something giant to jump down on me, so I didn't use it. And I couldn't go back and replay that. Unlike in other parts of the games where there are enemies you can go back and find again, you can't go back and replay the level. So I missed my platinum because of that. And that bugged me. And I haven't replayed it since. And I would only replay it if they added DLC that I didn't have to buy, because I've kind of moved on from it. Point is, real gamers understand. Real gamers had fun. These guys do not. And all they want to do is ruin fun because they hate themselves. And they hate that they've sort of detached themselves from the real world and society. Is that a way to put it? Just like
yes.
detach certain parts of themselves
Mm-hmm.
in some way? Go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to get worse. You were going to say something.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. I'm also watching Dre struggle with a point.
I am just flabbergasted right now. I can't even form my words properly because of all the fake words that have just been thrown around here, and I've got to be as clear as I possibly can. J.K. Rowling, I don't know her personally, but she knows how to create something very, very good, and she created a wonderful franchise. So whatever she does in her personal time is none of my business, nor did I care. But I have to say this because it's going to bother me if I don't. The term transphobe is completely incorrect. If you're going to say that somebody hates somebody, you use ists, not phobe.
We're not afraid of
phobe
them.
is phobia.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of these people or homophobia. You don't use, these are not the proper terms.
They changed the definition of phobic in the last couple of years to include hate.
It's
That's
retarded.
not
It's
true.
all retarded. But
if I'm an arachnophobe, I don't hate spiders. I'm scared of them.
Well, it's stupid. It's very dumb.
Because I'm scared of them. Because I don't want to get bit.
I agree with you.
If I have claustrophobia, does that mean I hate walls and doors?
Well, Dre, I don't think spiders is a good example because I do hate them. I'm scared of them. That's not a good one. That's not a good example. I do hate them with a passion.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. They started to use the word wrong, and then when they realized they were using the word wrong, they influenced the dictionary people to change the definition to make them always right.
Trans gamers. I am about to throw myself off the roof.
Don't do it.
It's accurate though. They're not actually gamers. They just identify as gamers, so it's actually a perfect label.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. We got to wrap this up because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, but these people are crying so hard because we don't care what they think. These canceled pigs, all they do is squeal, and we still buy. I mean, we are still interested in fact, just because I promised we would. Here are the current writers that are in line for the Harry Potter reboot. Let me get it all down here. And there are a couple. There's only really one here, in my opinion, who should be considered. These other ones really shouldn't be. I'm just setting this up here because I had to reload. I had to reload because
terrible.
I had to reload because of my no script. Let me just get it out there. That's all I got right there. All right. This is the only one that I think should be hired. Martha Hiller. For this reason alone, she was involved with The Last Kingdom, And The Last Kingdom is great. The movie, all right. Seven Kings Must Die. Its problem was that they crammed 3 books into one movie and didn't spend enough time telling the story. It moved too quickly, and a lot of characters were left out. That was the problem. But the actual 5 seasons of Last Kingdom, that's great TV, man. That's good stuff. Well written, great characters. A lot of, I don't know, strong, powerful female characters in there that I don't have a problem with. Although a lot of them they deservedly die. A lot of them do. This is the only one that should be there. They have this person has an actual history for the past decade of writing stuff, mostly British television series, which are well received. But the other ones, Kathleen Jordan, first of all, that's your picture. I'm sorry for you. No, Teenage Bounty Hunters, Hack My Life, Pacific Warriors, Prancing Elites. No, these are not things.
Well, those are all producer roles. Her writer roles are.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't scroll down far enough. Yeah, still, that's not good.
Threesome.
You should not be anywhere near this. Michael
Lord.
Leslie, writing. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Little Drummer Girl.
Macbeth.
We're not gonna make it as a
Was it a
species.
Macbeth filled with race swapping? Jed.
We don't. That movie doesn't exist. I don't even know what that is.
Lord.
Sorry.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're and Tim Moran, you've done. This is it. You've only been active for 3 years, essentially. 3 out of the 4 of these writers that are on the short list right now, in my opinion, are not qualified to write television. Martha Hillier, she's qualified. Oh no, she's a woman. I'm saying a woman's qualified. She's qualified because I can relate to a fantastic, well done series that she was involved in for multiple years and multiple seasons. Hire this one. Don't hire the others. And JK has control over the story once it's in motion. Not the writer, but the story and the casting. So that's what we're going to be watching. And if they cast Hermione as the ginger that she should be, or almost ginger, almost ginger. The Weasleys are more ginger, I know, but white. We'll just say white girl. As the white girl she should be, then we'll know we're fine, and then we'll hear the cancel pig squeal even louder.
Yeah. I do need to add a disclaimer for my point of view in this. I don't consider J.K. Rowling's involvement at any level an implicitly good thing like some people do. I don't think that she's on the par of Oda Sensei. Yeah, there's the possibility of her involvement being for the positive, but just like I joked about earlier, she has made canon changes to the story using her Twitter account that are all nonsensical, like wizards used to shit in their pants and magic it away, even though that contradicts the fact that bathrooms were invented early enough that it was the concealed entrance to the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
There goes my toilet sense of humor.
And Dre, that is recent. Like in the 1900s, they started using toilets, according to her. And the whole thing about Dumbledore.
She's not a historian. We know that.
And the whole thing about Dumbledore being gay. There's been a lot of things that she's retroactively changed. The cursed child is an abomination. I know she had involvement.
Yeah, agreed.
In that.
I agree in that one. That does not exist.
You're not wrong.
Her involvement doesn't say, "Oh, it'll be amazing. Oh, it'll be better than the movies because her involvement is higher." But
I've agreed with you on this. I'll say is that her involvement means there's a chance.
It's possible. She's somewhere in between Rick Riordan being involved in Percy Jackson show and Oda Sensei being involved in the One Piece show. She's kind of in between.
The one difference is she hasn't attacked her fans.
Agreed.
It's true.
I'll agree with that.
No matter, she has not attacked her fans because she knows who butters her bread. Very simple. All right, with that, guys, we got to wrap it up because I got to beam on over to Engage. Let's go around the horn, pimp our stuff for the week, and mosey on out of here. Jed, what's going on this week?
Not much, just regularly scheduled videos and live streams. I might try to game a little bit later. I have some time free this evening. We'll see if I get around to it. But I did need to get just a quick reaction from everyone about this leaked news about the Rings of Power. Are you guys excited to know what we're going to get in Rings of Power Season 2?
Oh, no.
I'm excited
it's
do it
very
on
cool.
Border Country.
Well, you know how these modern prequels love to show origins of random shit like Hans Dice in the Solo film, and Rings of Power is all about showing us the origins of all this random shit? Well, we might be getting the origin story of fan favorite horse, Shadowfax.
What's happening?
Oh my goodness. Just what I need. Horse penis.
Have the gods no
I wish I
mercy.
didn't click back to this tab now. I was looking at something
Thank
else.
you, Jed.
You're welcome.
Dre, save me.
Do you like how I set that up, though?
Yeah.
Can you surprise you guys?
Yeah. So, yeah. So this week, what do I got going on? Regular scheduled video, same. I got a really good interview coming up on Wednesday with comic creator and owner of Unstoppable Comics, JD Rosario. That's gonna be a really cool interview that people definitely want to check out. That will be dropping on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Brutal Plan Comics YouTube channel. And for those that are new, definitely follow me on Twitter at TheBrute00. Love to hear from you all.
All right, Dragon Lady, what's going on this week?
The usual Simpsons posting in. The castle building kit was released the other day. So I was building castles on The Sims, proper castles this time, not having to improvise with what's already there.
It's
So
always
I'm quite
nice
happy with that.
when you get the actual assets to do what you need to do. It's always good. I always enjoy that. All right. As for myself, as usual, in about 10 minutes, I'll be over on the Engage, myself and the crew, TOS episode 24, This Side of Paradise. We're doing that. After that, later tonight, then I am also on Get Ranked over on Bael's Hub. We're going to be arguing over cereal tonight. It's going to be ugly, very ugly. There's going to be a lot of yelling and gnashing of teeth. After that, later tonight, my day isn't over. I'll be joining Horny Alf and Devil Made Me Do It and Static 2020. We're going to be playing some State of Decay 2. It could be some zombie killing over on my gaming channel, Renaissance Nerd Arcade, link in the description below. As a note on that, guys, for certain things going forward on that channel, certain games I can stream, certain games I can't, not because they're bad or anything, because when I'm streaming stuff on my Windows partition, it doesn't like it when I play the game and stream at the same time. I'm suffering massive lag. So if you watched my stream or watched the replay of Pal World from last night, from now on, Pal World Adventures, I'm gonna record them when I'm streaming with Dermy and others, and then I'm just gonna re-upload the session when it's over, just because I was lagging my shit, and when some of the battles started, I couldn't manage it. It was getting bad. So that's how that's going to happen. Other than that, tomorrow is Monday, Mellow Mondays, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Devil and I will be talking some stuff, and we might call it early so that we can go play Pal World. It might happen. Who knows? There'll be other videos, takes, reviews throughout the rest of the week. Wednesday, Natural 20. Friday, back on Ball Busters. And next Saturday, Drive-In. Jed, what we got?
We will be watching the 80s fairy tale movie, as Adam likes to call it, that I think is beloved by most people who don't have, a legitimate reason not to love it, but it is an interesting conversation that's going to be happening for The Princess Bride coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, Jed feels like I've wronged him in a bunch of ways lately, so he's going to be I'm not the biggest Princess Bride fan.
I think you're going to be happy with the next one I picked, though.
Oh, you're gonna be happy with the next one. I can announce it now. I've decided that Jed does deserve for me to give him a movie that isn't superficial, that isn't light, that isn't kind of a run and gun. He deserves something to sink his teeth through. So I can say that after MegaCon, because we're gonna take a break after next week because of MegaCon, we are gonna do Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh yeah.
And just to wet your whistle even more, you know who did the soundtrack for this, Jed? John Williams.
Ooh, that'll be beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful soundtrack. Once again, we can actually, the GOAT will add another list to, it's going to come down to John Williams versus John Williams. Yeah, so Memoirs of a Geisha in 3 weeks when it's my choice again, because this is it's a war movie, but it's a perspective that you wouldn't quite get anyway. So I can announce that. And then next Sunday, we'll be right back here for another episode of the Roundtable. We have no idea what the week will give us. I somehow made lemonade out of the lemons we got this week into a great show today. Thank you one and all for being here. Chat, thank you. Hit that like button. We appreciate every single thing you do or say, even when you catch me in the truth that I am a woman. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Subscribe to everybody's links in the descriptions below. Good night, everybody. we are lagging. We are behind. There we go.
I thought it